Hey everyone, Camden here with the RankingBall Preview Show for February 25th, 2019. I hope you had a great weekend, and let's get into it. Here are NBA standings so far in the Western Conference. Top 3, Bucks, Raptors, and Pacers. In the Western Conference, got the Warriors, Nuggets, and the Thunder. Here are your scores from last night. You have the Magic over the Raptors, Nuggets over the Clippers, and the Knicks over the Spurs. Finally, the Knicks win the game at home to end an 18-game losing streak at home. Here's today's matches. You got the Warriors at Hornets, Blazers at Cavs, Pacers at Pistons, Spurs at Nets, Suns at Heat, Bucks at Bulls, Hawks at Rockets, Lakers at Grizzlies, Kings at Wolves, 76ers at Pelicans, and Mavs at Clippers. Here are league standings from over the weekend in the LCK and the LCS, and also the LPL. Sports news. Alright, like I said before, in the NBA, the Knicks finally win at MSG to end an 18 home game losing streak. That's a long time. Everybody, Spike Lee went on to mention on the Oscars, he said, "We're trying to tank." Everybody knows that the Knicks are trying to tank, trying to get Zion Williamson over to the team, try to get that number one. Even though, but I heard some stats the other day that even though that you're, even if you get last place in the entire NBA league, that doesn't guarantee that you will get the number one draft pick due to it being a lottery system, and just being in last place means you have a higher chance of being picked for number one, but doesn't guarantee it. LeBron James calls out his team's sense of urgency into question after a loss to the Pelicans, who were without Anthony Davis. So we heard a couple of days ago LeBron James talking about how he's ready to give it his 110% from the rest of the season, even though that he doesn't like to put it on this early. But he's also calling out his team, saying that maybe they're not lacking the experience of what it takes to get into the playoffs. And then after it looked like Draymond Green injured his ankle right in front of a unconcerned Steve Kerr, Green is still listed as probable and will most likely play in their next match. So even though it looked like kind of a bad injury, it was nothing, and he will still be able to play. In the MLB, Bryce Harper looks to be signing a deal with the Phillies. The salary is still unconfirmed, but if we know about Manny Machado's recent signing with the Padres, so I'm pretty sure that Bryce Harper will be asking for the same price or even more of that salary. So expect that to be signed any day soon. In esports, Korean SK Telecom and American Comcast Spectator are forming a global esports venture. The League of Legends team SK Telecom T1 will just be named T1 after this, and any other team going forward will be called T1 going on. Besides their already established Overwatch League Philadelphia Fusion, which will keep the name, but the rest of the this venture's teams' names will just be called T1, and they plan on getting teams for PUBG, Apex, Hearthstone, Smash Brothers, Fortnite, and more to come. Here's tonight's featured match. We got Philadelphia at New Orleans. It's at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Here are injuries for the 76ers. Z.R. Smith is out, and also Joel Embiid. He's going to be out for a week. Don't expect him for the next couple of games. For the Pelicans, Darius Miller is out, and Anthony Davis will be coming back into the lineup against the 76ers. Here are your previous game starters, especially with you notice that when the Pelicans played the Lakers just the other night, they were out without Anthony Davis. But expect possible starters tonight. Expect Davis to be back into the lineup, and with some other players like and more as well. So I expect a little different lineup with some injuries coming back to the Pelicans, and you're gonna have a Joel Embiid-less 76ers. Here are my winning 16 for the players you should be picking for tonight with the 76ers and the Pelicans. We got a lot of, without the 76ers having Joel Embiid, you should expect a little bit higher fantasy points per 48 tonight from Ben Simmons. Probably Boban will be getting a lot more fantasy points tonight compared to previously. So he's gonna be put into the starting lineup as replacing Joel Embiid. So he'll be taking over the center position and getting all those points that night. So this area here won't be as reflective as it has been as he has been negated to the bench. He'll be starting tonight, so he should be getting a lot more points and should be getting a lot more C and a lot more touch with the ball. Here are key takeaways, some advanced stats, and your last 5 games. The 76ers are 3-2, and the Pelicans are 2-3. You notice one of the large differences in here is that the 76ers are scoring a lot more, almost 10 points more per game in the last 5 games compared to the Pelicans. Pelicans have been without Davis for a couple of times, but almost a lot of the they're scoring. The Pelicans are scoring a lot less, and they're shooting more. So that doesn't mean that they're playing more defense compared to the 76ers. Just means that they're they're not making it in. If you notice, the Pelicans are shooting almost 10 more times, not 10 more times, but at least 10 more chances to score points compared to the 76ers per game, but they aren't scoring as much, even though their field goal percentage is it's by 4%, and that's a lot. That can make a lot of the difference. They're even shooting more threes, which they aren't getting, and but they're they make like one more, but they're not making as much. You'll notice that the 76ers have a higher percentage of hitting their threes. So indicative of like where the 76ers are getting a lot of these points from, you'll see is that they are making a lot more free throws. So that means they're getting fouled a lot more, which is indicative of them getting more points and winning more. So that's how they're winning more, is they're getting to the free throw line a lot more than the Pelicans are. Also, the Pelicans are also turning the ball all over a lot more. Almost 3 times more a game. So that that loss as a count. That counts as a loss. So here's my lineup for tonight. Go over it, kind of start it up. I decided to go with the two best players in this line right here. Add a little bit of players who aren't protective around Anthony Davis and Ben Simmons, protecting here. Just want to make sure that this line is protected, getting the most points. So this is my strategy for tonight. If you have any questions, let me know on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and everywhere else on social media. So have a good day, and I'll see you later. Bye.